Alright, are you ready to do some truck bed spraying? I don't have a truck bed, so what am I gonna spray? Alright, now it's time for some exciting stuff. So what I'm gonna do for this one, as you can tell by the title, is I'm going to be putting some Raptor bed liner on the van. The reasoning for that is, one, I think it's just gonna look sick. It's gonna make the van look much more like an adventure vehicle. But the biggest reason I'm doing this is to help with protection from rust. So I've got some rust down here. I tried to take care of it, you know, when I first got the van. Just didn't either do a good enough job, or since then what kind of causes the rust has happened. And that is, a lot of times in this lower part of the van, that's where rocks and stuff get thrown up and will chip the paint off, and that's where rust is gonna start. So putting this truck bed liner on there is going to help tenfold protect that lower section from rocks chipping and any future rust. First, we gotta do a little prep work. We gotta take care of all the rust, because just covering the rust in truck bed liner, you're just covering up the symptoms, and eventually that rust is just gonna, you know, eat all the metal away and it's just gonna fall apart. We gotta take these black plastic runners off. There's little plastic tabs that sit in grooves inside these panels and then pop into holes in the frame of the van. All you're really gonna need for this, a flathead screwdriver will work, and then maybe a set of needle nose pliers. Additionally, there's a couple T20 hex screws that'll hold these on from the inside of the panel. So first thing, gotta take those off. Next, we're just gonna gently, there you go, you hear that pop. Even if you do end up busting some of these plastic clips, you can buy packages of them pretty easy. So this is what we're working with. These are the plastic tabs that hold the plastic runner on, and they're not waterproof at all. So when water gets down through the top, it comes in here and just kind of settles around these tabs, and it's also getting on the inside of your body panel. How to get these tabs out of the actual body? Again, you can use just a flathead screwdriver. You want to pull up one side, just get in there, push in the tab, and you can see how that side has popped out. Now from here, what you can do is use your needle nose pliers, try and get in from the other side, pinch both sides, boom. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all of the other panels, and we're back. Okay, so since last time, I've gotten all the panels off pretty much, and got the rust ground down about as good as I can get it reasonably. I didn't cover anything really with the rust here. If you want to figure out how I take care of my rust, pretty much my first video in the entire series was all about that. So go check that out if you're interested in kind of the steps to take to get rid of the rust as best as you can. I'm also taking off the wheel flaps here. And there you go. So now every single body panel is off. All right, now we're in. Everything up until this point has led to this. The moments of truth. This is the day of fruition. culmination where it all comes together. Okay, you get the point. I have a really good friend who was super nice enough to get me hooked up with this big shed so that I can spray without worrying about wind, rain, all that stuff. This is the first time I have ever been able to do work on the van in a controlled environment. I'm pumped for it. I'm also super nervous and scared because I really don't want to mess this up. The next steps are going to be mainly prepping for paint. The main goal of the prep is to get the surface we're painting as clean and sticky as we possibly can. What that's gonna look like for us is we're gonna take a fine grit sandpaper and we are going to scuff all of the areas of paint that we will be spraying. Basically what you wanna be doing is taking off the gloss clear coat, and that'll give it a little rougher of a texture for the new paint to adhere onto. And then second, we need to take a degreaser and wipe down the whole area, get rid of all the grease, dirt, grime, dust, everything like that. And then we're gonna wipe it down with some soapy water, and then we'll be ready to tape it off, and then we'll be ready to spray. Time. I got the van all taped off. As much as I hate plastic, got the van wrapped in plastic. There's just really no other way to do it. We're ready. We're ready. I'm getting nervous. I am getting nervous here because this is go time. Let's get to it. It smells strong in here. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna like it. I'm not gonna know exactly until it's a little bit more dry and I come back tomorrow because it's, look at that. Oh, that's nice. It's getting to be about sunset right now.
to get crazy. It's about to go down.
Oh, how stoked are you? I can't tell you how stoked I am for how this turned out. Huge shout out to my buddy Caleb for letting me use his family's huge shed. A couple lessons or tips that I learned from, you know, now that I've gone through this process. One, it really is all about prep. If you don't prep properly, it's not gonna be as durable. I did make a mistake, and it was that a couple of the spots I had taken care of rust and primed. I forgot to go over the primer with an actual enamel. Unfortunately, when I was taking the masking tape off, it peeled some of the primer off, which then started to tug on some of the Raptor liner. Second tip, give yourself the proper time and facilities to do a job like this. This needed to cure for 72 hours without getting wet. The rust took a long time to take care of, but the thing that took way longer than I expected was the prep right before the spraying. So lightly scuffing everything and wiping it down, making sure it was degreased, and then the masking. Now that was partly just because of what I wanted to do. These are actual mountainscapes of places where I've been. On the right side of the van, the passenger side, it's actually a part of the White Mountains, which that was my first year as a backpacking trip leader. On the back of the van is Mount Elbert. That is the first 14er I ever hiked, and to this date, it's the highest peak that I have hiked. It also holds a big significance to me because that is sort of the thing that really pushed me into getting into hiking and camping and backpacking, and kind of was the catalyst to where I am now. And then the driver's side, that is part of the North Cascades range where I went this past summer to be a backpacking guide again. All in all though, I was really intimidated when I first undertook this project. The funny thing is I was most stressed about application, like putting the spray on there properly. And that ended up being the easiest part there was. And if I could go back and do it again, I would actually probably take another day or two prepping the van. Probably the most exciting episode thus far because it just makes the van look way more rugged and like an adventure van. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, maybe got some tips from it. If there's any tips you have for me, or if I could have done something better, go ahead and leave them in the comments so that anybody else who's watching this for informational purposes can get better information. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep it kind.